Yes.
I go.
Yes.
Princes shall come out of Egypt. Ethiopians shall soon stretch up their hands to God. Except the Lord build the house, their labor is but lost for building. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchmen wake up but in vain. There's a flag right there, a red, black, and green flag. We're going to do the official pledge for the flag. I commit my body, mind, and spirit. Follow me. Let's start again. Follow me, please. I commit my body, mind, and spirit to the protection, defense, and security of the red, black, and green. I dedicate my life to the redemption of Mother Africa and the liberation of her scattered Black children. I accept for myself and my descendants the teachings of universal African nationalism. And I promise that our children will be instilled with the purpose and knowledge of themselves as African people, in order that the cause of our struggle will neither falter nor fail until African Black people are free and united. Under one God, one aim, and one destiny. Well, we welcome everybody, and I have completed the ritual, and then I'm going to do libation. But I want everybody, before we do that, to know it's a participation, meaning we want you to participate. So when we ask you to call the ancestors' names, we got plenty right here, to look at. So let's call the names out, and your personal ancestors, community ancestors, and race leader ancestors. But before then, we want to make it clear to the world, not by might, nor by power, but by the Spirit. Say the Lord of hosts, God of the right, our battles fight. Be with us as of yore. Break down the barriers of might. We reverently implore. Stand with us in our struggles for the triumph of the right, and spread confusion ever o'er the advocates of might, and let them know that righteousness is mightier than sin, that might is only selfishness and cannot, ought not win. Endow us, Lord, with faith and grace, and courage to endure the wrongs we suffer here apace, and bless us evermore. I'm in rock. Brothers and sisters, welcome. We have a very, very inspirational, motivational, and upliftment program in store. So as I do libation, we want to all participate, okay? We want to call in all the ancestors because we know it's more ancestors than it is us. Is that not right? Huh? And one of us come from two come from four come from eight come from 16 come from 32 come from 64, and it grows and grows and grows as we go back. So what we want to do when we say Sankofa, we want to reach back, bring it all forward, and continue to emanate the works, words, and deeds. So as I do libation, I'm going to ask first the Almighty Most High, whatever names you may call the Most High, to have her in his ring. want to call on none other than the Right Excellent Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey to have his drink. And without the Right Excellent Amy Jocks Garvey, would not even be us here. We want to call on her to have her drink. Despite whatever happened in the past, we want to call on all the great who did their work. We want to call on Amy Ashwood Garvey, who was one of the founding members of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League. We want to call on Henrietta Benton Davis, who rose to heights, was also an international organizer and organized more divisions in Cuba than anybody in the UNIA. So we want to call Henrietta Benton Davis. And coming up currently, we want to call on Alma Golden, who served as a powerful Secretary General for many, many years. We want to call on Honorable Thomas W. Harvey, who served as President General. We want to call on the Honorable Charles L. James, who served as President General. I want to call on the Honorable William Stewart Sherrill, who also served as President General. I want to call on Stewart, who also served. And we certainly want to call on Sister Isaac and all those who took the first course of African philosophy from the Right Excellent Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey to have their drink. Now it's your time. Y'all call on all of them. Don't wait for the next person. Just call them out. Dr. Carter, you with me? Come on, come on. Come on, come on. More than enough. Come on, come on. Raymond Battle. Reginald Matter. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Come on, come on, y'all. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, y'all. Nanny of the room. Nanny Helen Burrows. Peter Todd. Come on. Martin R. Delaney. Renoko Rashidi. Dr. Tony Martin. Brenda Dunn Clayton. Nara Bolter. And all of those names who we tend to sometimes forget, and all of those who did great works, particularly those who decided they did not want to be captivated and brought to these shores, who went into the ocean because they preferred life after life by not coming and being a slave. That's so important, brothers and sisters, because there's many. We want to call on them to have their drink. Names we don't know, but we calling them still. We need them. So without any further ado, I say Ashe, 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 oh. We want to make sure they all hear us. So the sound of the drum. And as I bring on the next distinguished person as she takes her time and comes to the mic, I want to make it clear to everybody, all of y'all are drummers. And if your drum stops beating, you're moving life to life. Where's your drum? Where's your drum? Your heart. And as I was told by ancient drummers, that when you stop beating the drum, you're moving forward to the next round. So all of us are drummers. I want to say that to you. So we're going to drum through this program, but without any further ado, I want to bring to you the Honorable Secretary General, Sister Mary Bolter.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is a great occasion. This is our first live graduation under the Honorable Akili Nkrumah, and it's the third class. And we are here in San Diego. So we welcome each and every one of you out to this great service, because it is an honor to be a part of the Marcus Garvey Honor Society, founded by none other than our international organizer, Brother David Horn. And we are especially looking forward to the brick and mortar building that the Honorable Brother Dr. David Horn has promised that one day we would have. So without further ado, we're going on with the program, and the next person is the Honorable Sister Stewart Nkrumah, who will give opening remarks.
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. I just want to make a couple remarks before I get the folks to get on. I've been coming in and out of San Diego for the last 20 years. What's it the last year or so? I met the members of Division 619. I'm going to give credit to Brent Tashaka. I enjoy working with them. I look forward to working with them in the years to come, and he will hear their name shortly. I want to say, over the last 20 years I've been here, I have my wonderful sons who live in the county, and they're both here tonight. Raise your hand. Okay, I want to present something to see for the page. Not here, I think she just she's in page. She's coming. Watch this out. She's coming. Use the mic. Please use the mic. I apologize. I said work. I'd actually had a birthday. She had the end of July celebrated. Her
Well, I had some bronchitis. So first I was, I thought, I didn't, test was negative. But then I realized around this time, that I would get, an allergy, So I was cool, but still I'm cautious, But I want to thank everyone and, for coming to the World Center and doing what you do, because Marcus Messiah Garvey is my daddy. And yeah, he gave me the fortitude to build a World Cultural Center, and it wasn't easy in this town, and I was kind of unusual, the first vegetarian restaurant, producing reggae music, and San Diego is not East Coast or even LA. And so I just had to have Garvey's principles. We got to continue those principles. And even, I'm glad 80 comes fast. I didn't even know, we're going to go that. But, the principles of eating good, and those things. Because I was able, when I did get the allergy, I was with herbs. So we got to go back to our Gullah Geechee nation. Yeah. We got to go back to our Black Seminole nation. So the Gullah Geechees took a big role, in establishing the Underground Railroad South. But we got to know more about that. And that's the new museum that we're putting. We're going to continue. This is our history that they don't tell us. So we got to stay together, be with each other. We're gonna have a little thing. but we gotta forgive each other and continue to go forward for our children's children. All right?
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Coachman, Marcus Garden.
Javier,
Marcus Garden lives.
Javier.
I want to thank all the judges. My sister's from an island that I produce reggae music. And I brought a band out of there, and the band was called Midnight. And so this is the home of Midnight and the VI. You see it right up there. So thank you very much. And keep reggae and cultural music. Because, I did Fela Ransom and learn about, some of our music that keeps the culture.
Yeah.
And keep our kids listening to cultural music. Thank you. Hotel.
Okay, I'm going to introduce our speaker, Dr. David Moore, and who is the professor emeritus from California State University at Northridge. And he is a professor of
Was trying to get it
critical thinking and African study, Pan-African study, and Pan-African economy. Dr. David Moore.
God be lives. God be lives in us always. As a university professor, you like to talk. You like to lecture. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to follow the simply lead. I get straight to the point. When Marcus Garvey was unceremoniously ushered out of this country, some people thought that was the end of Garvey and Garvey. But Marcus Garvey came back to the Western Hemisphere to establish a university. Understand, as big and beautiful as City College is over here, and as big and beautiful as the University of California, San Diego is here, you have some great institutions in this area. But all you need for a college or university is two things: students and teachers. Everything else is negotiable. We've had all kinds of fights with administrators trying to make them understand. So you are not important. The students and the teachers are important.
That's right.
Marcus Garvey came back from obscurity for a lot of people to establish a Marcus Garvey University. He took 14 people, Black men and women, and taught them the course of African philosophy. That's the foundation for Marcus Garvey University. Those 14 people were then told to go forth and teach others.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are Garveyites, you know in the Constitution that we now use, it says plainly, you are not supposed to be an officer in the UNIA without having taken the course in African philosophy. Now, clearly, we've had some people who did not get, they didn't get the message.
Right. They didn't get it.
And they never got the information. So they've led us down many pathways away from Garveyism. Well, we decided it was time to bring us back to Garveyism. So a couple of years ago, should have been 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But we do stuff when we can do it.
Right.
The government of UNIA, ACL, or RC2020 said that we must establish in brick and mortar
Yeah.
and in the minds and the spirits of African people, the Marcus Garvey University.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
9 times out of 10, the brick and mortar will probably end up being in LA.
Yeah, yeah.
But it can also be in San Diego. I like a lot of stuff I've seen here. But either way, that university will be based on teachers and students.
Yeah.
Teachers and students. The teachers will be those who have taken and passed the course of African philosophy. The students will be those who will learn the knowledge and the wisdom of Garveyism in the course of African philosophy. We have established an honor society based on that idea. The Garveyite University, the course in African philosophy. Those graduates of the course in African philosophy get inducted into the Marcus Garvey Honor Society. Brother Singoa has on the Marcus Garvey Honor Society emblem. I unfortunately did not bring mine. But everybody who has already graduated should have gotten one or will get one, and everybody who's graduating today, you will get one. You represent the Garveyite teaching. You represent the Marcus Garvey University. You represent the training of our people, the African folk, to retake, to reclaim Africa.
Yeah.
It's not good enough to just say, just Africa where we are. San Diego ain't will never be Africa. LA is never going to be Africa. We are here, we learn, we build, we get ready. But this ain't it.
Right.
Africa is Africa.
Yeah.
We have to participate in rebuilding the African nation that incorporates all African people.
Yeah.
That which you will be being trained to do. So for those of you who are graduates of the course of African philosophy, congratulations.
Yeah.
You're going to call your name, and again, you will be inducted into the Marcus Garvey Honor Society. And understand how unique and important you are. You become the messengers. The real messengers, not the false messengers. Right. Quite a few of them running around loose. Right. Not even hiding anymore. Right. Coming out front, getting on Facebook, TikTok.
All of that.
They need to be not necessarily called out or knocked out. We're not interested in that nonsense. They need to be corrected. There are people in, let me stop. I think I was not going to lecture, I'm getting on to stuff that technically I don't want to do.
That's
Yeah,
right. That's right.
we can't help it.
You can't stop.
We can't help it. Again, for graduates of the course of African philosophy tonight, Garvey lives. Garvey lives. Garvey lives. Congratulations. I now introduce you to our parent, our President General, Brother Achille. Garvey lives.
Here's a message to my students. You are going to be graduates in the course. You will be interested. I love the interaction. I can tell you were thinking. So I'm sure you will practice the lessons. I'm sure you will build in San Diego. I know you want to build in California, which is making me come back here next year. I've taught school for quite a few years. Sababu, stand up for a quick minute. Let's stand up for a quick minute. Sababu, along with myself and Hassan and Kuma, took the course from Thomas W. Hodge, along with Sister Isaac. But we also started the Marcus Garvey School of Positive Education, which ran for over 25 years. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. What did you say? Oh. And the point I'm making is that we recognize that the lessons of universal African nationalism is important for you to understand and important for our children to see as an example. And that's where the teachers became important, because the administration was the teachers and the janitors.
Yeah.
We didn't have a title. It was what you had to do to make sure that the building was properly prepared for the children to come in every day and for them to learn every day. And we did it without a building. But there wasn't a class that there weren't lessons and learnings. There wasn't a class where there wasn't interaction that was constituted. I don't ever remember a class ending and somebody saying, boy, that was a waste of my time. But had they said that, I'd have put them out of class. I don't know. But now you have a job. So you have a job to carry on the legacy. So that when you say Garvey lives, you have to realize Garvey lives in you. You have to realize that your mission now is not only to build in San Diego and across California, but to be a part of building the African nation that we are reclaiming. You reclaim it one person, one block at a time. Each person you bring into your division is one movement. Each time you do some work in the community and you give the example of Garveyism, that's your block. That's your mission. Anytime you grapple and you do hair and have conversations with students and you pass on some wisdom, that's your mission. When you play old James Brown and all that good old rock and roll music, you play it for the purpose of making sure that we move and understand that there's music that isn't talking about self-expression. People of Africa sit across the globe. We are going to redefine the definitions that Europeans have given us for race. The European gave us the definition, Mongoloid, Caucasianoid, Negroid. We're going to redefine that. It was the elder brother, he was just sitting right there. From North Group. He was just sitting there, the other brother, he had the skimmer on him. He was out when y'all was on the sticks. He gave the lesson. Yes, he gave the lesson. Yes, he started the lesson. He said the Neanderthal man was just another race of the Negro. No, correction. He said it was just another race of us. Because there was no Negro. There was no Negro. There was no Caucasianoid. There was no Mongoloid. There was us. So when Garvey wrestled with the idea of how to move forward and accepted the terminology of Universal Negro Improvement Association, he was laying the foundation for us to one day go to the point that we move in another direction and take the rest of the world with us. To lead the rest of the world. We have followed long enough.
Yeah.
It is time to put ourselves in the proper position of leadership and to redefine who we are.
Yeah.
And not be defined by somebody else's voice.
Exactly.
We will never lose our history. We're going to reclaim it.
How are we gonna talk about the history that goes beyond year 1 AD? Because before year 1 AD, Europeans didn't give us no definition. Before that particular point in time, no one else in the world gave us definition. We gave definition to the world.
The world, yeah.
So understand what your mission is. Don't you now exemplify? And you also represent me as I represent you. Because there is no I in team. There is no I in nation building. There is no little me and a big you. It's a we, and it's us.
Yeah.
Genocide,
Yeah,
and that's power.
yeah,
Where you see
yeah,
power,
power.
we, us. I. What comes first? We do.
We first.
What comes next? Us. What comes last? I. That's because the strength of us is the strength in the people, strength in the nation. Because we will reclaim our history, reclaim our past, define who we are, and move into the world as the people that we should be.
Yeah.
Rulers of our own destiny. Now, that's it. Now, I get the honor of calling my students' names, but I can't read this list because I don't wear my glasses. Nope. See, I know Tyler Baraka. I know Jardia Jenkins. I know this lady, although she has TV. And say it again. And Chili. Say cool. Come on, give it up. TV, Satiri. Come on, come here. Come on. See what happened, guys, so I can look real. Now, say it so I can read it. Satiri, Satiri, Kaki, Nadu. Thank you, Miss Lady. Because for all the months I work with her, all she said, just Miss Lady.
That's what you said.
And then when she wrote it out, it didn't read like Miss Lady. She said, Bible kill me. Stop trying to pronounce it. Just say Miss Lady.
Right, right.
And Jahuri. I ain't saying the other name. I ain't saying the other name. Don't ask you to come join me at the podium moment. Right on the side. Right on. Right on the right. You'll do good. Come on, we're going inside. I'm on the East Coast. They're the West Coast. The classes started at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
And 6 o'clock with them.
yeah.
They ended around 11. Which was what, 9-8 for you. At 11 o'clock on any given Thursday, people want to know why you tired on Friday. Because our classes were more interactive. Their questions were great, and the responses and the exceptions. So even in reviewing your test, which I've done, you did not fail. But I told you you couldn't fail from the beginning. Yes, you did. Because God lives in you.
That's right.
And all we did with his lesson was bring out that truth. So I appreciate all of you. I appreciate your time. You were my third class.
Yeah,
Y'all worked me just as hard as the first one. And the first class worked me hard because they was already veterans.
oh, yes.
That's right. They were already veterans. So that being said, I present them now. So representing them? Yeah. Okay. When we talked about it. Now, Cheery Satini, Eku, Mike Maydu.
no, writing was too small. Jardine?
Yeah.
That's me. That's mine.
And Janur. I'm sure sometime after September, I'll start another class. We see if y'all have some students.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, brother.
I already got one right over there. Rick. Two right here.
Brother David Moore. God we live.
God we live.
God we live.
God we live.
I am a Garveyite.
I am a Garveyite.
Am a Garveyite.
I am a Garveyite.
I will continue to fight to achieve
I will continue to fight and achieve
a unified Africa,
a unified Africa sovereign
under African people,
under African people
for African people.
for African people.
I will bring Garveyite honor
I will bring Garveyite honor
to that fight.
to that fight.
I will fight until
I will fight until
nothing is left in my heart.
nothing is left in my heart.
And even then,
And even then,
I will rise from the night
and even then, I will rise from the night.
and I will whirlwind
And I will whirlwind
back to the front.
back to the front.
Garveyite
Garveyite
are forever.
are forever.
Garvey lives.
Garvey lives.
Garvey lives.
Garvey lives.
I am a Garveyite.
I am a Garveyite. Dang.
You are a brick and a pillow, brother. Ciao, Barack. You're up, sir.
Great.
Thank you, President General, and all the soldiers and warriors of the UNIA ACL RC 2020. Once again, I want to thank everybody for coming to San Diego and making this a joyous occasion. We really enjoyed your company, loved your company, and everything that we did together just felt like family. I think this is kind of like a family reunion to us. My second time up, this is my second convention. I went to Los Angeles last year, and I was able to bond and meet some incredible people then, and I even met even more incredible people this time around. I just want to give a big props to our teacher, for real. If it wasn't for Baba, I mean, he stayed on us, and then not only that, man, we had some good times, we had some laughable times. We was able to joke around, talk afterwards, and we got a lot accomplished. Just with the knowledge that he gave us, gives us the understanding exactly what we did and who we are right now. I feel great being a Garveyite. Now, I'm gonna keep this short because I don't want to be up here long, but I can tell you this too. In the brink of putting all this together for you all, we had a kind of a knowledge about what we wanted to try to give you with the lowriders the other day and all that other stuff, because we wanted to show you something about California that was a little bit different. Even with Mestre and the great people that were doing the capoeira and all this stuff, we wanted to show you that in San Diego there are Africans that are active. Yeah. Okay, even in the lowrider community, no, they're not gangsters. Them brothers out actually to go out there and do work with us on the streets. Okay, so they're not just lowriders get out waving a bunch of crazy music and doing crazy stuff. So that's why we wanted to show you that part of California that people don't see. Okay, so within my final remarks, my final words, I want to say I love you all. I'm so proud to be a Garveyite. I got my phone on because I at any minute and any second, I could be running out here to the hospital and a baby girl coming into this world. So I feel proud being a Garvey, knowing that my baby girl's daddy is a Garvey today. Right on. Garvey lives. Garvey lives. Garvey lives. Garvey lives. All right, on behalf of African Redemption Division 619, we'd like to present some gifts, token of our appreciation for those that supported us during this convention. All right. It's actually more than just supporting us in the convention. These are people that display Garveyism in the way that they live and what they do, what they've been doing all their lives in this community, period, especially San Diego. The very first one I want to give is a brother that I seen working when I was a little dude. He used to be a pop locker. I mean, one of the baddest pop lockers ever. But I didn't really realize the pop locker then turned into a martial arts form. Then I seen the martial arts form. I remember, I think you started in karate first, right? I thought it was karate, no? Okay, my bad. But I seen this brother take young people and turn them into soldiers. But not only soldiers, conscious soldiers. And what I love about this brother is that he still, to this day, is like a father figure to me, even though we don't have to talk on the phone and nothing like that. He just comes by the barbershop, looks in, and says, hey, you still messing with those white women? That's our little joke here. But further ado, I want to bring my man, my main man. You know, we call him Maestro because he's a master capoeira. You got to see him yesterday. His name is Dennis Newsom. We want to present you with the Marcus Garvey Award, brother. Who the work in the community? Yes. All right. And another brother, this is my brother from another mother. And this brother, man, I remember when we first met, he was coming by the barbershop all the time. I said, I like this roster, or whatever it is. Brother, and then we start having conversation. We start he said, man, I wanna open a school. I said, you wanna open a school? He said, yeah. I said, well, I got your first student. I said, what we gotta do? He said, and we don't have no money. I said, let's rub two wood nipples together. And then the good thing about it was he had a backup plan. Not just the backup plan, but he had a place to grow his place with this brother here. So with our heads put together, this brother started Better Salam Academy and made it, to me, the #1 school that I can think of in San Diego, California right now. You feel me? Not only has this brother built and did special stuff with our children, I can tell you about my son, of what he did for my son. I can tell you also too that this brother is a solid brother. You can see it in his family yesterday. And I didn't know they kicking your butt in capoeira. They gonna outsmart you and they gonna outthink you in everything that they do. He's been y'all chauffeur. And then when I called for the brother came as my brother. So I want to bring Cool Abdallah up here, my comrade, my homie, y'all chauffeurs, the loved one. Ask the teacher. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And you can't be a king without a queen, right?
Right.
And if you don't have the proper queen on your side, then you're gonna have issues. Trust me.
That's right.
And I'm gonna tell you this also. Along with this brother Kwaku is a sister named Sun God. Not only could she cook some bomb vegetarian food, and like I said, she's good with them sticks too. And the sister's been nothing but positive, positive, positive when it comes to those kids and doing the works that she do in Benton Salam. We didn't want to give them a dual thing together. We wanted to give her separate because she owned it. She worked hard for it, and I don't. Is she even here right now? Okay, she's off doing what she do, but this is the Sun God, Kwaku's wife that you all know. Yeah. And like we said, this is for people that's doing stuff that's Garvey-like, the Garvey type, Garvey life type stuff. The other sister, she was there yesterday. I don't even see her here today, but she does this thing called AfroCon, like Comic-Con. It's here in San Diego. She held it here for several years, and it started to grow and grow and grow. And it's African comic makers from all over the United States. And then brothers got some artwork that you can't even imagine. That's off the chain. I've been going to it for a few years. I love it. I think it's the bomb. She got me actually interactive, involved some way. This time I got to do a face or something. I don't know. But it's something kind of crazy. But her name is Dr. LaWanda Richmond. I want to give it up to that sister. I'm going to send you guys information on AfroCon. Oh, here she go. Right? Hey, there she go. This sister right here, and the sister has been working hard in the community. Oh, wow. Yes, we want to give you this Marcus Garvey Award for all the work that you've done, because you've shown yourself in the Garvey likeness of everything that you do, especially with Africa. We got our flyers and everything too. So the African Redemption Division 619, we just want to thank everybody because we know that you guys inspire us. That's why we have to give this back. We also have another award, but it's too big and it's being made right now because we couldn't handle it. Our teacher, our master teacher, he's getting the biggest plaque, the real plaque, but his plaque got to be sent to him. So as soon as your plaque is finished, your plaque will be Federal Express next day. That's right. And that is going to be for our President General. Our President General, Baba. Come on, let's take a picture with everybody.
Wanda, Dr. Wanda. They look back.
Pardon me? I'm trying to. It's hard to get everybody on here. Everybody would have to be on the side. Excuse me. Can you all come in front of this camera for a second?
Yes.
They're watching me on YouTube.
Yes.
Could you please come? I just would like everyone to see who's getting these awards. So if you can just make sure you've been there, thank you, Miss Lee. See, Miss Lee understands what's going on here.
Yes.
Right, this is on YouTube, so I just would like them to make sure that they see Dr. LaWanda, Miss Lee, PG, Barbara Kwaku, Barbara Tau back there. Oh, I just hope you understand, this is San Diego Division, African Redemption Division 619. Make sure that you got that. Got that? Give thanks. All right. Okay. And then you can do all these photographs with the good camera here. Don't forget.
Thank you for that.
Are you the new president reporter?
No, you probably doing it already. We're doing this at the World Beat Center, and we have the CEO, CFO, founder of the World Beat Center here in San Diego. Sister Queen, I'm good. I don't think we're gonna have to. I'm good. Good, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. By the way, he's not an ancestor, he's not there yet. Surrender. Yeah, I know he wasn't there. But there are the ancestors up there that are. I know. We know these things. Thank you. Jose. Very inspirational, sir. And it was great to be a part of the recognition of the African community in San Diego. Yeah. You notice I didn't say black. I didn't say that for a reason. Because we're on a mission. We are. We're on a mission to really reclaim Africa, to work with the African men and women on the continent and our leadership to help them formulate an African democratic process to where we who are non-residents of Africa are part of that African nation. You hear? That's the mission. We won't do it with bullets. So take that European colonial statement out your mouth. We will do it with diplomacy, education, and leadership. See, diplomacy, education, and leadership. Now we haven't run a nation, so we get lessons from them. Leadership. But also leadership isn't about I, it is about we. We, us, I. And that's part of the lessons that we can be able to teach to some of the leaders. I saw on TikTok, strange place, a sister from Africa giving a lecture. She said, we go to the white man's bank and then they give us 10, 20% interest. And then when white folks go to the bank, they give 1 and 2% interest. We have to change that. She said, we have to claim Africa for us. And she said, our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, they can't be called diaspora anymore. They have to be Africans too. And they have to participate in helping us develop the mechanism to do that. How many teachers do we need on the continent of Africa? How many doctors and nurses do we need on the continent of Africa? We have the skill sets. We have the bodies. We can teach it. They can continue to grow. But with us, we become power. With us with them, we become power. Not them over there and we over here. No. We have to work with all of us in order for any individual one of us to be free. August 31st is just the next step. The next step in identifying to the world who we are
identifying to the world the direction that we have to go in. We have to be inclusive. We cannot be excluding anyone because we don't particularly like the way they wear their hair or the way they dress. We have to build the confraternity of a race. Just say that right. The confraternity of a race. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about we, us, and I. The ancestors that are behind us are letting us know that they have been waiting for us to do this, and it's about time.
Yeah.
We are going to shake the world because we are committed to building on the legacy of the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey and continuing the process of the men and women before Garvey, with Garvey, after Garvey, that connected to that string because they made mistakes too. They didn't work together like they should either. We're going to shake the world because we're going to work together. You brought people today from different aspects of your community, and we showed you. We have to show the same unity in every city, state, town that we go in. If we're going to attack the issue of violence in our community, we have to do it through the knowledge of self. Who are you? If you know who you are, then you can't hate someone that looks like you.
Right.
If you know from whence you come, then you can appreciate those who come the same as you. And since we all come by way of woman, your neighborhood of geographical location is irrelevant. Because you come the same way I come. Together we make the difference. An African mind will be the basis of anything African. Nothing African can be created without an African mind that is created. Can we say it again? Nothing African. Say it with me. Nothing African can be created without an African mind that is created. I want you to notice something, family. We didn't say the word Negro one time in that statement. Not one time. If we accept this science continuously, my challenge has always been, we have to have science par excellence to redefine it. Well, no, you don't, because we've got science par excellence. Understanding the history, understanding the root, removing the colonial shackles and say, I gotta prove it again. I don't have to prove it again. I just gotta live it.
Exactly. Come on.
And if I live it, then I can define it, tell you who we are. I don't have to keep accepting what someone told me. I love Thomas W. Harvey.
Oh, yeah.
Love Charles O. James. Learned many lessons. He put the brakes on.
Oh, yeah.
But the brakes is lifted. The brakes is lifted. In a year, I decree that we will make a change because we will define ourselves as who we are. Whatever path that takes us on. I may reach back to the brother from San Diego, snatch some of the other history that he was giving us yesterday. And then take that history and show you the science. I saw the science in Detroit. We did our convention in Detroit. That the first president of these states was a black man because it was a colony. And he was sent here by England to patrol these 13 colonies. Hello? So Barack Obama went first. Know who you are. Know where you can go. And then the only thing that will ever stand in your way is you. I'm a Garvey.
Yeah.
Every day, all day. Living, breathing, talk about it, hold people accountable with it, because that's science par excellence. We must provide the path forward.
Yes.
You understand?
We must.
Path forward. You work. You live, you pay taxes. You buy from the supermarkets. They don't fund you back. The path we have to take is to build that economic arm, that builds the political conscious arm. And then, as we start that process, we build the African Legion. You bring the sisters, you bring the brothers, you bring them young, you teach them young. It stays with them forever. And you prepare them for whatever battles we have to face. And we have a skill set to teach them how. I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna say it again. I'm an RBI. I'm an RBI. Garvey lives. Garvey lives. Garvey lives in us. We are God. We are God. That's how we shall go forward. We will fear nothing. We may argue and disagree, but we will never be disagreeable. Now, while I'm at your moment, you want to, because I know the mission is greater than any one of us, because it's going to secure the future of the babies that you have in the room. And the baby that's coming, we want to care for the baby that's coming. I want you to know this 64th International Convention has been unique for a number of reasons. Our first live graduation, face to face in San Diego. We had a division that put out, not treated us like family, but made sure you knew you was family. Took us into their home, did everything that we needed, did stuff that we didn't even know they would do, just to show you how serious they were. They brought their community to us. 1, 2, we brought them to us and said these words, you were the low riders. Popping the wheelies out front, knowing that they were on a patch with the red, black, and green, that they asked Tao Baraka, could they do? Right. And he said, yes. And I said to them, now come into the division. Since you wear the red, black, and green, come into the division. You don't have to stop what you do. You can keep working the same way, but help build the division. The brother said, that's right. Listen. We go forward faster together. Matter of fact, there's a whole statement to stumble is to go forward faster. So we stumbled. Now it's time to run. It's time to run. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Garvey lives. Garvey lives. Garvey lives. Garvey lives. Garvey lives. Now, I'm going to ask anybody who's seen the Ethiopian national anthem. Do you have the music? Because if you don't even search for it. It's just on the program. If you have it, you can play it. But I'm not going to ask us to sing it.
All right.
You say the album. No.
I mean, I could, I didn't know we were gonna do that now, but I could do that.
But you want to say what? Dr. Susan?
I'll sing.
She wants to hear you.
No,
Sister say, you want to come sing it? Father, you gonna come help him?
Carl said, hey, right.
You gonna come? Okay, Paula can come. Paula knows the song. Sababu, Sababu, come on over here. We need you to help sing the Ethiopian national anthem. We don't have it.
The music is within us.
Yeah, the rhythm is in your heart. Sing, boy, you coming up to help sing? Come on, Chris, you call the mic, you know that, sir. There you go. I'm a hump. Okay. That's why I ain't there.
Hey, yeah. Y'all get it, President General and all of the San Diego 1619, big hands. Come on, y'all. Kiss me hands. Y'all don't laugh at us.
We gonna be out, so if you laugh, it's okay.
Come on, 3 times.
Thank you, Sarah. We used to do that every Sunday at our meetings. Every Sunday. And the rhythm. Well, the words are beautiful. And if you ever get a chance to hear it in its traditional sense, the words are fantastic. But when you think of the red, black, and green, think of your army standing up to end the violence in your community. Led by the red, black, and green. Think of your children going to school with the red, black, and green flying over the school. So think of it. Think of your economic engine being led by the principles of Garveyism and the principles of us as a nation. If you can dream it, we can make it so. Just don't think dreaming is all you're going to do, because it's time to go to work. Thank you again. Okay, so we're gonna take a break before we have the film.
Get something from the establishment to the business.
Time up. Oh, I was.
If we can just use this time while we switch some equipment and support the various marketplace vendors that are here, as well as get another beverage. Before we to get this film screening on. We're planning to show a film on the fire in 1878 in St. Croix, led by Queen Mary. Yes. And then we're hoping to also show the versions of 3 different queens linked to the legacy that was written by Queen Garden. We're gonna do our best to see if it happens now. We're gonna take a moment and hold fast, play some music.
those cards for people to fill out.
Now? Okay, all right, let me. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We're gonna aim to show some films that can't all be seen on this stream. But just know that this has been the UNIA ACL RC 2020's community activities, the Marcus Garvey Honor Society, and the induction therein. There was a wonderful graduation piece, so look at the screen. Keep supporting, look for UNIA ACL RC 2020 and all of our media